Hi there, this is Tony from pianotone.ca, and this is my review on the DAOK triple pedal unit that you can find on Amazon. Now, do be careful when you're looking at these on Amazon that you're looking at the right one, because while most of them do appear to be the version that is compatible with Yamaha digital pianos, like the P515, my DGX 670, the P125, or the new P225, as a portable alternative to Yamaha's LP-1 triple pedal unit, and that one actually requires buying a Yamaha stand. There are other versions of this pedal that say they're compatible with Kawai digital pianos, and I've got no idea if that's the same pedal as this one or not. And there are also versions that have a 1/4 inch TR connector instead of the connector for Yamaha, which is this pin connector here. So the one I bought and I'm reviewing in this video is the one that's meant for Yamaha digital pianos. So it has the same type of connector as Yamaha's LP-1 triple pedal. So let's check it out. So I have the DAOK pedal connected to my Yamaha DGX 670 digital piano, and I also have a generic M Audio sustain pedal connected to the auxiliary pedal port. Now, what the pedals do by default on the DGX 670 does depend on what voice you have selected, but mostly what I want to talk about and what I want to include in this demo is how the pedal works on piano voices. So I've got the main piano voice selected on the DGX, which is the Yamaha CFX Grand. So if I press the direct access button and then press any of my pedals, the DGX is going to take me to the pedal setup screen. I love the direct access button on the DGX. So as you would expect for a piano voice, the triple pedal defaults to sustain for the right pedal, sostenuto for the middle pedal, and soft for the left pedal. And also note that my generic M Audio pedal that I have connected to the auxiliary port is also set to sustain by default. So let's start by testing out the right pedal for sustain. Now what this does on a real piano is it lifts all of the dampers off all of the strings, so every string is free to vibrate after being struck by the hammer. Then when you release the pedal, the dampers come back down and prevent the strings from vibrating again, so there's no more sustain. So I'll press my right pedal down. That lifts up all the dampers, and then I'll play some notes. Okay, well that seems to work just fine, but before I go on to the other pedals, let's check to see if this pedal unit supports half pedaling like the Yamaha LP-1 unit does. On a real piano, if you gradually release the sustain pedal, the dampers are going to slowly come down and start to come in contact with the strings, and that gradually reduces the amount of sustain. On digital pianos, this feature is called half pedaling, and not every piano supports it, and not every pedal supports it either. This is an available feature on the DGX 670, so let's see if the DAOK pedal supports half pedaling. So I'm going to hit a C note hard with the right pedal pressed, and then listen as I release it gradually. Do that again. Now compare that when I do the same thing with my M Audio pedal, which does not support half pedaling. With that one, you should hear the sustain cut off immediately at a certain point. That's because sustain pedals that don't support half pedaling are basically on-off switches. They're either sustaining or they're not. Okay, so on to the middle pedal, which by default is set to sostenuto. On a grand piano, this pedal will lift the dampers up for any notes that were held down when the pedal was pressed, and as long as you keep the pedal pressed, those notes will continue to sustain, but others will not. So for example, if I hold down a C chord, so C, E, and G, then I'm going to press the middle pedal and hold it down. Now if I release those notes, if I play C, D, E, F, and G, the C and E and G will sustain, but the D and F will not. So that's working as expected. So now onto the left pedal, which is set to soft by default. On a real piano, when you play a note, the hammer swings and will actually usually strike more than just one string for each note. Now what happens when you press the soft pedal on a real piano is actually very cool to watch. The entire keybed will move slightly, so that now the hammers will only strike one of the strings for each note instead. And this basically makes the sound quieter. So I'm going to play a C note over and over, and I'll do my best to keep my velocity consistent, and then I will depress the pedal and release it a few times. It should sound a bit softer when the pedal is pressed. So that also seems to work as expected. So from what we've seen so far, it does seem like the DAOK pedal unit works just great, but I did want to mention some unusual behavior that I noticed. Now, in my opinion, this issue is not really a huge deal. It's just a little odd, so I wanted to mention it. And I also wanted to mention that this may actually have nothing to do with the DAOK pedal unit. This might just be an issue with the DGX670, and it might behave exactly the same with the Yamaha triple pedal unit. I can't confirm that, though, since I don't have the LP-1 pedal unit anymore. I'm actually hoping that somebody watching this video who does have a DGX670 and the LP-1 triple pedal unit can help us out in the comments and see if it behaves the same with that pedal unit or not. So with the DGX670, there are tons of things you can set your pedal to do. There's actually, I think, 50 or so that you can configure for any of the pedals that you've got connected to your piano. I do actually plan on making a video on all of these options, so stay tuned to my channel for that. So just to demonstrate this, I'm going to switch the right pedal to start and stop the style. So now when I press the right pedal, the style starts and stops. So that's fine. But if I play a note, it not only starts and stops the style, but it also sustains the note. Now if I do the same thing with the auxiliary pedal, it will also start and stop the style, but it doesn't sustain a note. And that is actually the behavior I would have expected from the triple pedal unit. So one more example. As I mentioned, the default behavior of the pedals on the DGX670 differs depending on the voice you've chosen. So I'm going to switch to the concert guitar super articulation voice. This has a couple of articulation effects that are available. I'm going to press direct access, and I'm going to press pedal to get to the pedal setup screen. Now you can see on this screen that both the right pedal on the triple pedal unit and the auxiliary pedal are both set to sustain. The center is articulation 1, and the left is set to do a pitch bend, like you're bending a note on a guitar. So let's test the left pedal. So it looks like the pitch bend works fine. Now I'm going to try the auxiliary pedal. So it looks like the sustain is working. That's what we see on the screen, so that's fine. Now if I press the middle pedal, I'm supposed to get articulation 1. Now it looks like that is working. That's actually an effect of the player tapping the body of their guitar. Now before I try the right pedal, I'm just going to switch to articulation 2 for the center pedal, just so you can hear the difference. It's basically another guitar tapping effect, just a bit softer and muffled. So now I've switched that back to articulation 1. Now on to the unusual behavior. The right pedal says sustain, but when I press the right pedal, I get a knocking effect that's kind of like articulation 1, but strangely enough, it seems to be a different pitch when I use the middle pedal. And if I play a note with the right pedal pressed, I'm going to get the articulation effect, and I get sustain. So what if I manually switch the right pedal to be articulation 1? So now it seems fine, and it's not sustaining anymore. But if I switch it to articulation 2, you can hear that it's now triggering both articulation 1 and articulation 2. So while that is definitely some strange behavior, once again, I have no idea if this is just an issue with the DAOK pedal or with the DGX670 in general when modifying pedal assignments for any triple pedal unit. Now, if it is just an issue with the DAOK pedal unit, and to be honest, it probably is, maybe it will be an issue for you. But I have to say that it has not been an issue for me at all, and here is why. On almost any voice, I'm usually quite happy with the default pedal assignments, and if I do want to customize those settings at all, I typically will use the auxiliary pedal first, then the left pedal, and then the middle. It seems like any of this odd behavior seems to be tied to the right pedal, which I never tend to modify. And I have done a fair bit of pedal customization for different voices and registrations that I use, and so far this issue has not come up for me. I just actually noticed it when preparing for this video, so I just thought it was best to share it with you so that you were aware of it. So now with all of that out of the way, what is my verdict on the DAOK triple pedal unit? To be honest, I love it. I originally had a Yamaha LP-1 triple pedal unit, and I ended up returning it because I found the pedals too stiff and a bit high off the ground, and like many people, really don't like the idea of forcing you to buy the Yamaha wooden stand to use the triple pedal unit. I do have the stand for my DGX 670, and it is an awesome stand, but what if I want to use my DGX elsewhere? I'd like to have a triple pedal unit that's portable so I can take it with me. Now, I actually bought the DAOK unit specifically to make this review because I've had a lot of people asking me about it. And at the time, I wasn't even sure if I was going to like it and continue to use it or not, but I do really like this pedal. It's got a really nice feel, at least for me. I don't like super stiff, hard to press pedals. It doesn't slide around on my hardwood floor at all, and using the auxiliary pedal and the left and middle pedals on the DAOK, I've been able to customize the behavior for different voices and registrations to my liking without any issues. So even with the odd behavior that I noticed, as long as you're aware of that, I still highly recommend this pedal unit as a portable triple pedal option for your compatible Yamaha digital piano. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you like the content, please feel free to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. It does really help me out. So thanks again for stopping by. Happy piano playing and happy pedal shopping, and have an awesome day.